Hey, what is going on, guys? My name's D-Free. Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super discussion video. Today, we're going to be talking about, my guest and I, we're going to be talking about the possible inclusion of Yamcha the God. Yes, the God Key Yamcha in the Tournament of Power. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and subscribe if you're new. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So, today I'm not alone. Like I said, I am joined by Real to Real, aka Mark. How you doing today, man?
What's up, D-Free? Pretty good, man. And this is a really funny topic.
You know, I should have took a page out of Danny's book and be like, you know, you're Mark, but the brand is Real to Real. You know, like I'm Donnie from D-Free. It doesn't work the same way because my name stands for my actual name. So it doesn't work. But yeah, so anyways, yeah, it's gonna be fun to talk about Yamcha. So I mean, spoilers if you're not familiar with the stuff that's going on in the next couple episodes of Super or whatever, but if you are, stick around. But basically, long story short, Majin Buu will not be able to participate, or maybe they're just knee-jerking us, we don't know yet, but regardless, we're going to go off the assumption that he can't participate, and Frieza may, once again, this may or may not happen, may be taking his place in the Tournament of Power, but you know, Super has done this thing where they've set up in the background the possibility of another savior coming in and joining the team. Mark, stop laughing, because it's not so. You can't laugh in the middle. I can't take it seriously.
It's so not serious.
I am serious. Anyways, if you saw around the time that Bulma was born, Yamcha shows up. Yamcha's like, hey, oh yeah, there's this Tournament of Power. They're going to want me. And he goes back home and he says, I'm going to wait for them to ask for me to join the team. So basically, I believe even in the last episode they showed him again. He was like, okay, they still haven't come yet. You know, he's just waiting for them. So Mark, well, if you're done laughing, do you think there is a legitimate chance that we see Yamcha make an appearance in the Tournament of Power?
I actually wouldn't have said yes until you basically brought that up. It was like, yeah, like, you know, honestly, one of the things that it's like a storytelling thing. Like, you don't necessarily tell things or show things in stories unless there's some kind of a, I guess, a payoff for it one way or the other. And that's not necessarily true with Dragon Ball, but at the same time, Dragon Ball's whole thing is being kind of unexpected. So as much as we do like Frieza, that could be like the gag, and it's like something to kind of build us up, and we don't necessarily see it, but it actually is going to be Yamcha, and they're going to play it more for kicks than anything else. The only reason I would say probably not is because Frieza is probably way more marketable, way more toy friendly and everything than someone like Yamcha. And they're basically just doing this for, you know, just gag purposes.
Yeah, and let me go ahead and say this really quick here. I'm going to preface the fact that even if Yamcha did show up, I was talking about this on a stream that Mark did. By the way, if you guys are not subscribed to Mark, link is in the description. Go ahead and do so. He's an awesome guy. He makes really good content, a lot of crazy, wacky, zany discussions for Dragon Ball and theories and stuff. But regardless, I was on stream with him the other day, and we were talking about, you know, this whole thing. This is where this basically stems from. And I want to go ahead and say that even if he does participate, that doesn't mean that he's going to have a significant role or do anything crazy. That just means that he'll just be there, because Toei at this point is very conscientious of the fact that he is a meme, right? They treat him like one. They make fun of him. Like, even earlier in the Battle of Gods arc, this is probably the first instance of Yamcha showing this. He's like, don't worry, Krillin, I'll protect them. And it's like, come on, bro. You know you can't do anything if Beerus comes rushing over here. So I don't know what your point is. You know? So, you know, it's just that whole thing. And Toei is very, very aware of that. And continue what you're saying. I just wanted to add that in there.
No, I definitely think that's true. And, like, one thing you did mention on that, and I don't want you to let you forget it, is like they're really conscientious of this. They even have like their kind of, you know, the screw you and the dead Yamcha like URs and Dokkan and everything. They
those cards in Dokkan just flipping you off. Yeah, everybody associated with Dragon Ball as a whole knows that he's a meme, so they're aware.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that they could be aware of. The thing is like the only reason I can see that being kind of a useful thing for them is if they are taking out Majin Buu, and it's probably the most popular fan theory here, like probably the most realistic, is they're taking out Majin Buu because Majin Buu is just kind of hacks. I mean, the guy has way too many abilities, way too many things that could allow them to win the tournament. One thing Danny was saying in a video we did was like basically he could turn everyone into candy, and then he could turn everyone into candy, and then, you know, the Master Roshi or someone could do the demon containment wave into a jar, and they just throw the jar into the the void and like
Abyss,
universe, Universe 7 wins, like teamwork, high five.
Yeah.
That was.
I kind of did a video on that too when I first found this out. I was like, well, from that perspective, it makes sense why Boo cannot participate in either of the tournaments that we've had to this point. Because if you look at him, he's not the strongest guy, but he's broken. His abilities are too good. He's like that one hacks in the game. It's like, you use this character, it's insta-win. Basically, that's what Boo is. He can do too many things. He's too durable. He's too powerful.
Yeah, and as I've mentioned myself, like, when you go back and watch the Battle of Gods movie or the Battle of Gods arc in general, Beerus just puts a wall up on Boo. I mean, everyone else he just kind of plays with and just kind of takes very little to take them out. But Boo, he's like throwing around, throwing ki blasts at and everything. And Boo just keeps coming. And
Boo comes back. Yeah, this is against the God of Destruction. He may or may not have been trying to put a lot of force into it, but Boo keeps coming back where everyone else they were done.
Yeah, like one thing and they're done. Like, and that's the thing. Like, Boo is just too powerful. So that makes sense to why they don't need to have Boo. A lot of people have said, well, one of the reasons they're bringing Frieza in is because there's some story dynamic there. There's a lot of stuff they can kind of they can explore with that, with Vegeta, Goku, Beerus, and any other interactions between anything else. I mean, one of the things I said about Frieza is, Frieza, the only kind of people Frieza hasn't met on this team, really, at least kind of become interactive with them at least one time or another, are 17 and 18, and their personalities against Frieza is going to be interesting to see. But at the same time, how much stronger is everyone else going to be for this particular tournament? How strong are these universes if we're going to have literally Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, Piccolo, and Gohan, not to mention the androids and the human beings basically fighting in this tournament? Like, how much stronger is everyone going to be to actually be a threat to these people with how much we've actually seen? And the most brilliant thing about Yamcha is not only could they play that for jokes as they keep playing it for jokes, but at the same time, like, it would actually put them at a disadvantage, and at a realistic disadvantage, to have somebody who probably gets taken out immediately, like, the big savior basically be taken out immediately at the beginning of the tournament just for big laughs from the audience and a wink and a nod that, like, we do know that Yamcha's a meme, we do know that he's not necessarily the strongest fighter, and just push forward. And now what do we do? Because now at the very beginning we have this huge disadvantage.
Yeah. One thing that'd be pretty crazy, though, is, we've been speculating about who's going to be, if Universe 7 wins, who's going to be the one to basically win and be the last one standing. What if Yamcha just ducks and hides for the entirety of it? And he just pops up. It's like the whole arena is cleared and he was under some tile or something. And it's like, oh my God, nobody wins. And it's like, oh, Yamcha's there. Oh, that would be so phenomenal, right? Like, they don't want to use these gag characters like this, but I mean, they got Jocko they could play with. They didn't introduce, or no, I think Jocko actually declined, I believe, or said something like that. They also said, hey, Manaka's sick. So, like, what if Yamcha, they just put Yamcha out there and he just hides the entire time. He maybe takes a kick or something. Yeah, and he truly is the savior. Like, wouldn't that be so good?
That would be actually really unforeseen. Honestly, I think the fandom would be up in arms, because one of the things we're all sitting around saying, like, Goku's gonna win, no, Gohan's gonna win, no, this person's gonna win, and all this.
And it's Yamcha. Thank the Lord.
I would, you know what? If they did that, though, I would applaud them, because this wouldn't be the first time that Toriyama's won a tournament or done something that wasn't, like, over melodramatic and more done for laughs or strategy based or something like that. Like, it would be different, but it wouldn't be so outside the norm to not be Dragon Ball. So I could respect that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fun. I don't know. Just thinking about it, man. There's so many, the one thing that they talk about with Frieza is, like you said earlier, the possible interactions with characters and, him being familiar with certain characters and the different prospects that could come from that, right? And, his interaction with Frost and some of these other guys in other universes. But I don't know. I just feel like, and not to take this seriously, because once again, I don't think this is going to happen. I think they were just obviously using Yamcha as a joke at the time. And I feel like everybody should be aware that this isn't like a serious, super serious discussion. But I just feel like there's also that same potential for Yamcha to be a funny character too in it. He's like, oh my God, who is this super big guy with like this Mario mustache is talking about Topo, and he's just like, I'm not touching that guy. You know, there's so many possibilities for something like that. And obviously people want Dragon Ball Super to be darker. Obviously people want it to be more intense and action oriented, as opposed to more of the lackadaisical comedy side of things. But we can't deny that that's something that Toriyama takes pleasure in doing. So I don't know.
No, I completely agree. It's like when you have someone like Yamcha basically sitting around waiting to be called on, to have him be the last person. The fact of the matter is, he's not going to be the person they call on, but to have them be like, okay, fine. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It would probably be a little bit more funny to have them call on Mr. Satan, but they've been setting up the dominoes for Yamcha this whole time. So if he, you know, by some stretch of the word, like, or the imagination, that he actually ends up being part of the team, and, you know, even more of a long shot, actually being the person who helps them win the thing, that's something that I think a lot of the fans would either hate or totally get behind because of the comedy of the matter. And to be fair with the whole Frieza thing, as much as everyone wants to kind of sit around and speculate about all the character interactions and everything, we still don't know how this is going to be playing out. All we know is that this whole fight's going to basically be a 48 minutes or something of everyone fighting this battle royale type of situation. And to be fair, if they slow it down tremendously, that would be awesome. But one thing Super's been doing mostly its entire run is just having like one episode fights. So if they do like one person versus one person in this huge battle royale every episode, that's fine. But how much are we going to explore backstories or motivations or anything else? And if you introduce Frieza, you kind of have to do that. And it runs the huge risk of being really disappointing, when if you introduce Yamcha, you just have to be, you kind of cock tease your entire fan base, but at the same time, you don't have to take too much time to have these legit interactions between Goku, Vegeta, Kaba, Frost, and anyone else that Frieza should be interacting with.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Any other closing words here, man, before we get out?
No, I think I've said everything I had to say.
Yamcha for the win. Hashtag Yamcha for the win in the comment section if you've made it to this point of the video, of course. And as I said, around the 3-minute mark, you know, go ahead and subscribe to Mark from Real to Real. So thank you, man. It's totally a pleasure to have you on. As always, we got to do more of these. It's fun to talk about crazy stuff such as Yamcha winning the Tournament of Power. Who would see that coming? I just hope that it happens so I can just be like, ha! I called it, LMAO. Yeah.
If you call this Dragon Ball Super ends because everyone's mad about it.
Yeah, the ratings just dip. It's done. Oh, man. Well, guys, as always, have an awesome day, and thank you for tuning into today's video. We will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.